climate change will definitely intensify drought and floods and cyclones and hurricanes. So the need for crops that are resistant to droughts, floods, and salt, because the salt water is brought from the sea to the land during a cyclone or a hurricane, are vital properties. Now, industrial agriculture never looked at this at all. Industrial agriculture was only looking at how to breed crops for use of more chemicals. So response to chemical fertilizers was the main objective of Green Revolution breeding. These crops have been bred by farmers over millennia. And in Navdanya, we have community seed banks of climate-resilient crops, of drought-tolerant varieties, of salt-tolerant varieties, of flood-tolerant varieties. We have rices that can grow 18 feet tall and survive a flood. We have salt-tolerant rices in our collections, which the name tells you that the farmers knew what they were breeding. You know, Kalambang, Luna Bakra, they tell you this is salt-tolerant. So it wasn't just accidental that they tolerate salt, they were bred with intelligence of nature, intelligence of farmers coming together. We started to save these seeds when Orissa had a cyclone in '98. When the tsunami took place in 2004, we were able to take truckloads of these salt-tolerant seeds so that we could bring agriculture back. Because Tamil Nadu had given up on agriculture. They said, with all the salt on the land, we'll never be able to have a crop. And we said, no, there are salt-tolerant varieties your farmers can grow, and there was a gift from the farmers of Orissa to the farmers of Tamil Nadu. Now we have the claim that only through genetic engineering can you have these traits. For people who have not done agriculture, for people who don't know farmers have these traits, they get panicky. A lot of environmentalists have gone panicky because they don't know this is there. And so they respond to ads like this one of Monsanto, all over the newspapers throughout this year. 9 billion people to feed, a changing climate, now what? Producing more, conserving more, improving farmers' lives, that's sustainable agriculture. That's what Monsanto is all about. But they keep pushing for, we are the only source. I want to share with you exactly what's happening. As Ali said, there is no second generation. They only have single gene trait manipulation. And that single gene trait manipulation, they can use to put 2 single gene traits, which was called stacking, 3 single gene traits. But what is not available, not in the technology and not even in the science, is how different genes interact with each other to create a certain expression. That's still the very early stages. That's the epigenetics we're talking about, of how the whole ecosystem of the gene comes into play. And it's the relationships that matter out there. But companies are now taking patents on genetic resilience, on climate resilience. We have a report from Navdanya. It's called Biopiracy of Climate Resilient Genes. And you can order it through our website, navdanya.org. 530 patents on climate resilient traits. How do these patents look? They're not about a rice, they're not about a wheat, they're not just about a corn. Individual patents are about every trait, cold resistant, heat resistant, flood resistant, drought resistant, in every crop. A BASF patent covers maize, wheat, rye, triticale, oat, rice, barley, soybean, peanut, coconut, rapeseed, canola, pepper, sunflower, potato, tobacco, eggplant, tomato, pea, alfalfa, coffee, cocoa, tea, oil palm, coconut, perennial grasses, and all forage crops. So they are patenting everything under the sun for every trait. A Syngenta patent in a similar way covers all crops. They're not breeding these crops. They're just claiming the patent. How are they taking the patent? In the first generation, they did the engineering by shooting traits for herbicide resistance and for Bt toxin. Now they're not even bothering with that. They are gambling through software. And they're basically, and I'll read to you how they claim the patent. A company called Evergene, which has a partnership with DuPont, has 400,000 proprietary gene clusters. Did they create them? No. What they do is they use vast amounts of available genomic data, which they've taken from databases all over from public research. They rapidly reach a reliable limited list of candidate key genes with high relevance to a target trait of choice. Allegorically, the athlete platform, which is the software program they use, could be viewed as a machine, something that Ali said, this machine view of the world replaced all the time, that is able to choose 50 to 100 lottery tickets from amongst hundreds of thousands of tickets, with a high likelihood that the winning ticket will be included among them. So very clear, we can either build on farmers' innovation and have the security of having seeds that have actual traits that we need in all their diversity, or we can go down this way of the casino, a genetic casino that's like the financial casino that collapsed, and this system will lead to a collapse of agriculture because they have no idea what they're doing. All they're doing is appropriating and owning, and they're playing with people's faith that somehow this is breeding. Breeding has stopped through genetic engineering, and breeding can only carry on through people and participatory platforms of scientists working with farmers and farming communities. And I'd like to mention that the School of the Seed that has been started by Navdanya will be doing a course from 23rd to 26th of February, precisely to cover every aspect of the seed. Patenting, genetic engineering, participatory research, how do you save seeds? How do you create seed banks through which you share seeds? So any of you who are interested, please go to our website. Debi announced it, navdanya.org. And I think we have to reclaim the seed, because seed in the hands of Monsanto means no seed security at all, no food security at all. And in climate change times, we need to save diversity, and we need to save seeds as a common, because monocultures and monopolies are the biggest danger in times of climate uncertainty.